Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today I am going to work on a Halloween collage. I've never done that, and I think it might be really fun. Now, I found some pictures, and this is what inspired me. First off, this picture inspired me. It's beautiful, but I think it might be a little creepy with this fogginess and you can't tell what's out there and all these trees that could look like somebody's there. And I'll show you what book I got that from. I found this picture in Wilderness America, A Visual Journey, and I will put the link to this book in my description box. And then I hunted for things that would be neat here, and I couldn't find anything that I settled with. It just didn't look quite right. Until I bought my last books to collage with. And there sat this man. Now, if you look at him closely, he's not really creepy looking, but just at first glance, this man turned around and staring at you in a cloak. He does look scary. And I thought if he was standing in this swamp, just looking at us, why? We don't know. And why would he be in the swamp? We don't know. Is he good or bad? Who knows? This will probably be a fairly simple collage. Sometimes I think we can put too much in our collages, and we lose a feeling, an emotional feeling in it by overdoing it, making them over busy. And then I'm not sure, speaking of making them over busy, if I would cut out these skulls like this, what would they look like on this paper, just kind of in the distance? And it would depend for me, did they blend into that background? So these are all things I'm going to try in my collage today, and we'll see how it turns out. I think, I should show you, I got my man in the book, The Details, Iconic Men's Accessories, and that too I will give a link to. So, I need to cut this background to go with my book, but I don't know exactly what part of this book background to cut out. I'm going to have to lose quite a bit of it. Do I want there? Do I want there? Up there? And I really think I should probably cut my man out and find out where he should be placed on this picture. So I think that's the first thing we should do, is fussy cut our man. And I'm going to try to cut him out and save these trees. They might want to go someplace else. Who knows? Maybe in this picture. I don't know. So, first off, we're going to fussy cut our man. Now, it would be a lot easier to rough cut this, but since I want to save the background, I'll work a little slower here. There, he's not quite all cut out yet, but we can get an idea of where he will fit in our picture. He could be tucked partly behind a tree here, or he could be out in the middle, or tucked behind that tree. Behind this one might be neat. But I think I know we don't want him too far back because he looks too big. And we don't need him too far forward because we lose the trees. So I think he should be in about this area, either here or here. And here's my template for my book. I think we can Do we include these trees? We include everything I think I want just by laying it like this. Neat. So, let's mark where we need to cut this out at. We'll lay him off for a minute. Just right. Okay. Now, I guess I should finish cutting this guy out because I have a lot like in here, and I didn't cut too close around his hat because he was awkward to cut and not lose my background. So we will trim him up a little while we're at it. Almost. Okay. Now, we have to decide where he goes. He could go in this area and go behind the tree. Puts him awful close to those cute little ducks. He could go here and cover the ducks up, which I think might be the best, or he could be behind that tree. I think right in here to cover up the ducks. Although I like the ducks, I think this might be the best place for him. So I think we should make a little slit in the water here and slip him just a little bit like his shoes are wet. I need to get my craft knife for that. Let's see. I think right in this area. Let's see if his feet will slip down there. One of them does. Needs to be a little bigger. There, he's standing in the water. Why is he standing in the water? What is he doing there? Now, to give it a creepiness factor, I think I want to add, if possible, some skull heads that, maybe creeping, maybe peeking out of a tree or at the edge. And I'm going to experiment a little bit, and I'll experiment and you can see if it works or not. I have this piece of paper left over, and this one might be a better one to try it on. And I want to try decoupaging a piece of this napkin. It's a napkin, and it was several ply, and I've got just a top ply there. And see what it does if I decoupage this on. So I'll get my water and my brush and my decoupage, and let's see what happens. Just a drip of it here. And this is very, oops, that's more than a drip, isn't it? This is very fragile napkin paper, and I know that is very hard to deal with. So let's see how that works out. I'm thinking it may kind of disappear and just leave the black marks. Whew. Yeah, and it's also disintegrating, so it has to be treated very gently. And you can't brush over it very much. So, let's let that dry for a minute and see what it does. And while that's drying, I will ink him. I'll be honest, I wasn't ready to make a video today. But as I got these things out and was looking at them, I just couldn't resist. I wanted to make him so bad. And I have a couple other neat ones for Halloween that I want to work on. I had a designated day, but I'm doing it today instead. All right. Maybe we can get him stuck on this. He's going down through a cut in the paper, so this couldn't be put down first. Like I usually put my background down first and glue it down. But if I had done that, I wouldn't have been able to get his feet in there. So I have to wait. There we go. Maybe I should have put some glue on him, though. Now, my last magazine collage with the princess, which I love it, but I had terrible problems with it wrinkling. And I think it's because I haven't really learned yet how to do the thin magazine paper real well. Now, this is nice, thick book paper, so I hope it does a little better for me. And I'll try to be more consistent with getting the backs of my pieces covered well. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I'm not careful enough. Now let's see if I can get him down there. I can get his one foot just doesn't want to get down there and get wet. Let's try. There we go. Now, I don't like that white mark there. It's where my paper tore a little bit when I cut it. So, we'll take care of that with a little of my ink. Okay. And on the back of this, I probably should put a little glue under his shoes down here. There we go. And I think our next step will be to get this in my book. Here's my large book. And I found a page that will be good to put this on. And I think it will fit right there. And I think I will just paste the back of this time. Let's put a piece of paper there to protect everything. Get my bigger glue stick out, and I'm going to try to be really careful about covering my whole background. Well, I hope I've got all the places now. Much easier to deal with than a magazine paper, I tell you. The books are nice to deal with their nice heavy pages. There we go. Let's check on our skeleton over here. Except where I messed it up, it does just show the black lines. I don't know if you can see that or not. Just the black lines. So I think that might look neat, kind of peeking out at the edge. Just to say, there's really something creepy about this, guys. It doesn't necessarily say anything creepy until you look at that skull. Now, I'll have to be very careful putting it down and not getting a mess like this up at the top of it. But, nothing tried, nothing gained, right? So, let's get a skull out of this thing. Do we want a whole one or a partial one? I'm not sure. I like the way he looked, looking out at the corner. We don't want anything too close to him. I think one right up here, maybe like, just like that. Let's try it. If I mess it up and it looks terrible, we'll put something over it. I don't know what, but... What do you think about that? And is there something else we should put in here? I don't know, a little owl flying or a raven or something. I don't want to overdo it. I just want it to be simple. Let's go ahead and take care of that next. I think maybe I should let that dry a little bit and then put the coat on top. It won't be so overly wet, and maybe maybe it won't have such a tendency to tear. I'm going to put a little bit of my Mod Podge in here so I don't get too much. And just dab it on there carefully. If you've worked with napkins, you know they're awfully fragile. There we go. Let's see if that dries nicely. Okay. Let's take a look in my sticker book and see if there's any owls in here. There's seagulls, butterflies. Oh, well, there was an owl, but they should be flying in this picture. I think it could be sitting up on top of a tree. Possibly. Well, that's an idea. Let's see if there's anything else. No, that's the only owl. What would he look like sitting right up there? I don't want to stick him down. He's got a white outline on him, and that I don't want to keep. Now, he's too big for that. He might sit right there, but I think I can only use him if he's darker. He's too light for this background. But maybe if I put some ink on him, he'd be darker. We can try. Now, he darkened up nicely, didn't he? We just want him barely visible up there. Sitting in the dark, watching things that's going on. You don't know you're being watched. See if I can cut this out now. We don't want that white outline. Let's see. Let's just try him right there on that branch. There we go. You know, I don't think I'm going to do too much more with this. It could be we needed a few things down here in the bottom. I'm not sure. A rock or two, maybe. Here's my piece of scrapbooking paper that I get rocks off of. And I'm not sure if we want any down here or not. We would have to darken them up again with ink. Maybe just some in a corner. Let's see. We may not want them, but we'll try. I want to go for these rocks right here. Maybe just here in the corner. I don't know. We'll see. Something like that. And we will cut it a little straighter and we will ink it well to make it darker. And smooth this rock around. And I think we'll put it here going outside the edge of our page. I don't know, but I think a dark frame would be nice. I could do that with a paint or an ink pen or some washi tape. I will have to look at that. It's always interesting how these collages take on a life of their own. You have an idea or two that you're ready for, and then it just grows, adding this and adding that, and would this be good, and would that be good, and it takes on its own personality. Yes, I like that there. And then I have to decide before I do that, because if I want this to go outside my frame, it will have to be down. And I'm going to look for some fussy tape. Well, I have a few. None that really strikes me as great. The green ones don't really seem to match the tone that's back here. Here's a black one that might work. It's just a design of leaves on it. I think that's better than the green. If it had been a green forest, this is too narrow. So I think it's between this black and this gold one. And I'm not sure. Let's try the black. I want to put it on before my rocks. If we're careful, we can take it off if we don't like it. And this will go down here, yeah. We don't want to cover this guy up. We might not put one here. We might just put it around the three edges. Let's see. think what I'll do is I'll darken this up with a pen. Since my tape won't fit there. Let's get our rocks down next. Right like that. I like that. All right. Now I'm going to use a black marker and try to fill this in. So let me find my marker and see if we can darken this up. There we are. That helped it out a lot, I think. That's it's all done now except for sealing it. And you may want to stop at this point. I'm still trying to figure out how to seal my pictures without a lot of wrinkles. And I may give up someday and quit trying to seal my pictures. But for now, I'm still trying. And I need to trim a little off my bottom. Just a little bit. There we go. And my skull is disappearing slowly down here. And if not, it's still okay. So I have my Mod Podge right here ready to go. So let's podge. Now, it just looks ugly and goopy now. Looks like glue has been dumped on it, but you know, it will change within about 10 or 15 minutes. It will look so much nicer. Now, I'm going to put the fan on it, and then I will be back with you after this has dried so you can see what it looks like. Remember to put your brush in your podge and your lid on your podge if you want it to last. So, I'll be right back. I'm back, and it is dry now to the touch. So I think I will give it an extra brayering in case there's any wrinkles in it. I don't think there is. This dried nice and flat. This book paper really works well. So much nicer than magazine paper, which I still have to figure out. I'm very happy with that. Well, there is our man in the swamp. I don't think I would want to run into him while I'm out on a walk, but I probably wouldn't be walking in the swamp either. And here's how our skull turned out. I did a little bit of inking over him just by rubbing some Distress ink over him, just to darken him up a little bit. I think we are done. I hope you enjoy your Halloween holiday and that you will try to make some cute Halloween videos. Or maybe not so cute, make some scary ones. I will say goodbye for now and bye-bye.